What is up? Stacy here. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. I have my airplane. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. One day. No, I have my phone on airplane mode and I'm ready to go. So this time, no calls will come in. I started to record this same podcast like literally seconds before this, and then I realized, oh my gosh, my phone is not on airplane mode, and I was gonna continue with the episode, but then I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna delete it and start again. It wasn't too much into it anyway. So yeah, my throat is a little itchy. I think something is stuck there, some debris or something. I don't know, that sounds weird, but I had a shake earlier and there was like tiny little pieces of coconut in it. So I think that's what has me a little itchy throated. That's not a word, but today it is. And you just literally heard me gulp. I just realized that. So I just made a video for my YouTube channel about this same topic. So I'm gonna hopefully cover the same points. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. You know, I like doing videos and podcasts only because there's things that I say on the podcast that I probably won't say or I miss out on the video and vice versa, you know. So hopefully this there's some points I make here that I didn't already cover in the video. Excuse me, I burped. And yeah, let's get into it. I know that in the last podcast I said that I was going to cover the topic of parents not accepting their kids when it comes to them being in the LGBTQ plus community, and how they're shunning their kids from all of it and trying to protect them from it and trying to, or I don't even know if you can call it protecting. Maybe that's the term they use, but maybe to some it's really just trying to turn them against it, the idea of it, or of them actually being, you know, gay or lesbian and all the other TBQs. I don't know. It's a lot to say. It's a mouthful. That's what she said. But I just wanted to talk about it again, and I say again obviously because I made the video, but I've just been hearing about how a lot of parents are doing these things to their kids. Even when I was in high school, even after high school, I would hear my friends tell me about how their parents would find out that they were dating somebody of the same sex, and they went ape shit. They were mad. They were pissed. They would take their phone away. They would not allow them to go outside. They had to keep them in all summer. They wouldn't allow them to go hang out with their friends, or if they did, they would be there watching them, or they would check up on them, or they would call their friends' parents and make sure that's where they were going and that no other kids could go. And you know, it's just this kind of thing that it's like, why? Like, what is it? Why do you not see that you're only harming your child? You are only causing damage to your own blood. So it makes me sad. But I do hear so many stories about that, how the parents find out and it's like the end of the world. Like, they just completely try to keep their kid from that, but eventually the only thing that you're going to realize that you're doing, or they're going to realize that they're doing, is that they're causing their kid so much pain and heartache and possibly make them resentful towards you. You know, you're only causing that resentment, and you don't want that. I mean, they don't want that. I say they, but you know what I mean. And maybe you listening have been one of those children or adult or just a person. It's always so hard to try to get everybody's demographic that may be listening, but maybe you have been somebody who has been kept from something that you love so much, or from being yourself. You know, it doesn't even have to be with sexuality, as I always say, but maybe you are somebody who has been kept from being, you know, for example, you wanted to be an author and your parents wanted you to be a doctor, and they kept harping on you to be the doctor, be that doctor, and they never even fathomed the idea of you wanting to be an author. And you know, so obviously with all kinds of things, it really does fuck you up. And some parents just don't realize that they're the main reason why their kids are so fucked up, and why they have so many problems and issues that they're facing all alone. And they don't stop to realize, maybe I'm the reason my kid is going to bed at night crying, in tears, feeling sad and heartbroken and torn apart. Maybe that's what it is, and I'm the cause of that. I feel like half of these parents don't even know that their kids are suffering or going to bed like this. You know what I mean? I was one of those kids. I don't think my mom knew that I would go to bed in tears because I was so scared, because I was realizing that that who I am is not what my parents were brought up viewing as okay, you know what I mean, or as normal. But again, that's the whole reason why I took my time with coming out. And I tell you, I was pressured by so many of my friends, so many people that I never really thought would ever do that to me. They pressured me, but I never allowed that to be what determined when or how I was going to come out. I realize now when I look back at things that I took my time because I knew that I wasn't ready, and I knew that I didn't have that confidence within myself to really take on whatever may have come my way from coming out. I wasn't ready to deal with consequences, good or bad. I just couldn't, and I knew that I had time on my side, that I could just feel so much better if the one thing that I would do would be to just relax and not rush things and just let life take me where it was meant to take me. And that is why I pushed that on to so many who view my videos, because if they would just understand what I understood at that moment when things just clicked, and maybe it wasn't so apparent at that time when it clicked, but if you just take a moment for whatever it could be in your life, for a new job, for finding a new job, for wanting something, for wanting to no longer be single and find somebody, if you just let life bring those answers to you, you will feel so much better. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel like, okay, I have a handle on this. Whatever life brings my way, I'm going to tackle it, and I'm going to win. And you have to have that mentality, you know what I mean? Having a winner's mentality like that is absolutely amazing for whatever comes your way, for any obstacle, for any challenge, because you know that ultimately the goal is to get over that, to jump that hurdle, to get through that, I don't know, obstacle. I was going to say another thing like hurdle, but I don't really know what would really, really mean that for going through something. Anyways, through that tunnel. That's a good one. The ultimate goal is going to be that you're going to get through it, and you're going to do whatever you got to do through the pain, through the sadness, through the happy days, through the, amazing times, which is kind of the same thing. The end result is going to be happiness. You're going to get through, you know what I mean? Hard work is what's going to pay off. Again, I don't know how the hell I got on that subject, but I mean, on that part of the topic, right. So just let life guide you. Let life happen and just enjoy your life right now. Stop worrying about about figuring things out right now, because there's no necessity to do it. There's no law or rule out there that says, hey, you better figure out your sexuality right now or you're going to go to jail or you're going to get fined. Like, that's a good thing we don't have that, because we would seriously really, 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 really sweat bricks if that was the case. You know what I mean? Be thankful that you don't have that. Ultimately, be grateful that we don't have that stuff is not implemented in our society. You know what I mean? Or in our everyday life. That's a good thing. So take your time. There is no rush. There's no deadline that you need to figure it out by. You know what I mean? So really understand that, and hopefully that helps you. Hopefully that helps you sleep at night. You know what I mean? But back to the whole parents thing. Like, if you are a parent, or you don't even have to be a parent. If you're just somebody who knows that somebody's going through this, maybe if you are a parent and you have your children's friends that you know of that are going through these problems at home, or that they have a toxic environment, or that their parents are really keeping them from really being themselves, offer a shoulder to cry on, offer an ear to listen to their problems. Just tell them, hey, if anything ever happens at home, or you ever need to talk to me, like, you can count on me, you can trust me, you can come to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you can't keep a secret, please don't do that to the child. Please do not do that to the child, because you be doing damage too. But But show them that they're not alone, you know what I mean? That they can come and talk to you as a parent, because I know that might mean so much more to them, because they can't even count on their own parents. And that's the thing. We, those of us who are trying to really figure ourselves out growing up and stuff, and even up until now, at whatever age you may be at, like, we always look back, or for most of us, I should say, we look back and we see our parents as somebody who we count on. Somebody who we trust, somebody who we go to for guidance and to seek advice, because they're our parents. Like, we love them, for most of us, again, and they're supposed to show us the way, because that's what we've learned growing up and all of that. That's what we've always known, that they are the ones to be there for us. Did I say that already? I feel like I said that already. I was focusing on a sound that I've heard in the house, and I got a little freaked out. But yeah, like, we're supposed to feel that comfort with them. We go for them for comfort. We go to them for comfort. And a lot of parents are not giving their children that. They're actually depriving them of that by their own actions. You know what I mean? And sometimes those actions just don't make sense. So if you are a parent, that does this to your child, like, really reevaluate what your actions are, and maybe things will get better. I feel so terrible for any kids who have to live in such a toxic environment. It breaks my heart. It does. And I feel even worse for parents that don't realize that they're the ones that are creating such a toxic environment for their children, for everybody in the family, for themselves. You know what I mean? That's a huge one. For themselves, them being this way, having so much hate in their heart, having so much anger or jealousy or enviousness or whatever it could be, that they didn't have the chance to do what they wanted, or to do what they wanted to do, or to be who they wanted to be, because maybe their parents didn't allow them, or maybe because they didn't allow themselves to be who they wanted to be, or allow themselves to have that. And so they have so much anger and so much, jealousy or whatever it could be. And they don't realize it, but they're doing the same exact thing that they didn't like being done to them, to their kids. And so they're creating so much toxicity in that environment and in themselves, because they're the ones that are keeping those feelings of anger within themselves. They're keeping it there. They're not getting rid of them. They're not helping themselves get through that moment in time. They're stuck in that. They're stuck, severely stuck in that. So, the one thing that you've got to do, and what I've learned from my parents, was that you break barriers. You know what I mean? You if you didn't like the way that you were brought up, if you didn't like the way that your parents parented you, if you didn't like the way that your friends were towards you, or whatever it could be, break that barrier. You are at all your right to break the barrier. You don't ever have to carry that with you throughout your life, throughout your family. You have the opportunity to break any barrier and form a new barrier, form a new life how you want it to. It's never too late to do that. Yeah, maybe you're probably like, well, it's too late to be a famous artist. Well, you don't know that. Maybe it was in you this entire time, and because you never took a chance back then, you don't have it now. It doesn't work that way. For some things, I guess you could say it does, but if you want something, at least you have years in front of you to do it, to spend your days happy doing that. And don't think so much of what could have been, and just start on what could be. Don't let that keep you from doing the things that you want to do, or from being happy now and being able to do it. Nothing should be stopping you now. The only thing that's stopping you is yourself. So stop stopping yourself, And so I say this because I just feel like so many parents just think, or maybe they feel as though, because they were taught one way, that's the way it's got to stay, and that they can't change or bring in new things or new teachings or new ideas to their family or themselves. And so, if you are a parent that's been keeping your kid from being who they are, or who they, aspire to be in life, take a step back and realize that you could be the cause of them having issues or having problems or whatever kind of issues that could be, mental issues, mental health issues, physical, self-esteem issues, self-confidence, all of that. Like, teach your kids to love themselves. It starts with you. It starts at home. You bring a child into this world and they're a blank canvas, and you are their first teachers. So teach them love. Teach them to love themselves. There's so many people in this world who are so close-minded, who hate themselves, who don't know the first thing about love, who don't know the first thing about loving themselves, who carry all these sad views on themselves and depressive views and hurtful views of themselves, because that's all they ever learned. They never were taught to love themselves. They never were taught how to love others, So if you could change that for them, if you could teach them that from the get-go, you're going to be helping them so much. You're going to be, just showing them that no matter what happens in life, that no matter how others may view them, they should always love themselves. They should always learn that who they are is who they are, and not the opposite. Don't teach them hate. Don't teach them that. If you weren't allowed to be yourself growing up, allow them to. Break that barrier. Don't be mad because you didn't get the chance, but now your kid does, so you want to rob them of that because you're so angry. Don't do that. Be happy for them. Be happy that they early on may know who they are. And maybe they don't know who they are, you know what I mean? But for some of us, we do know who we are very early on. So let them explore that. Obviously safely, of course, but when you're there backing them up, when you're there showing them support and guidance and help and trust, you're doing them a service. You're doing them good, because they can know, oh, I can go to my mom just in case something happens, or my dad or my parent, and we can talk about what's going on, and I have somebody to come to. And I know so many kids at my school that were such rebellious kids because their parents had them on such a tight rope. And then they were like, whoa, I've always kept you on such a tight leash. You shouldn't be acting this way. I never taught you to be this way. But then you're like, well, no shit. It's because you fucking wouldn't let them go out. I'm so sorry. I'm cussing. Maybe I should be a little more respectful. I take it back. So, no, I don't take it back, actually, because that's who I am. Get it? I am who I am. Anyways, no, but really, because it's no shit. Because you freaking stopped them from going out every night, and they had a curfew at 8:00, where their friends had a curfew on the weekends till at least 10. You're keeping them from that, nobody's stopping you from teaching them guidance and discipline and stuff how you want. But when you go as far as shunning them from being themselves and telling them, no, you've got to be this way, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do it this way, that's when it gets a little bit okay, come on, really? You're crossing the line. Just allow your kid to be, and be that backbone for them. Be that support. Instead of causing them so much more anxiousness, more anxiety, I should say, more sadness, more depression, more hurt, more pain. It's already tough growing into your skin as it is at that age. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with discipline and and also keeping them in check. Of course, we need that growing up. But when you get to a part of the parenting where you just don't let them do anything for themselves, and you're always protecting them and babying them, or whatever it could be, you're doing your child a disservice, because when they get into the real world, they're not going to know what the hell to do. So, and you should know that as a parent as well. You know what I mean? Parents should know this because they lived through it. So, it goes as far as saying that one phrase that goes, treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? If you didn't like how you were treated growing up, don't treat others that same way. Just because you were treated that way doesn't mean that it gives you the right to treat others that way. It doesn't mean that everybody else should feel the way that you did. If anything, you should want others to feel the way that you didn't get to feel. And not have others feel the way that you felt. You shouldn't want to have others be suffering because you suffered. You know what I mean? Okay, I know that's not how it works for everybody, but if I have a chance to get through to one person by just simply saying that, maybe it could change somebody's perspective on things. I know that it won't always help every single person, but hey, maybe they just needed to hear that. So, that's a lot to say. So I think that I already told you all that I thought. If you are a kid or somebody that is going through this, doesn't matter the age, specifically, I guess I should say for those who live under the roof of their parents. If you are of age and you don't have a job and you're just sitting there and, you're in a toxic environment, realize that you're keeping yourself there, that maybe you should go out and find a job and you should start saving money and you should start making moves to move out so you can have your own roof to live under with your own rules and not have to deal with the toxicity back at home. If you're underage, be smart about it. Don't come out if you know that your parents are not going to like it. Don't get caught doing these things that you know are going to put you in a really bad position. Be smart about it. Don't think that just because you aren't out right now or that you can't be out right now, it's never going to happen. That's not that. I mean, if you keep yourself in that position, of course it's never going to happen. But if you make moves to get to where you want to get to in a place where you want to be, then you'll get there. But so long as you work for it. So the second that you're able to get a job legally in wherever you are in the world, do that. Start getting the preparations ready months before your birthday or whenever the time is that you should be getting stuff ready, so that when you turn that legal age to be able to go work, you can go work and you can start saving money and you can start working towards being able to get yourself out from under that roof and move out so that you no longer have to deal with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is a way for you to find a solution to whatever problem you're dealing with. So find it. Stop being lazy. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Use that energy to go and do. Make your actions line up with your words. That is what you have to do and you have to keep in mind, especially when you're going through something like this. If you know that your parents are not going to accept you and that they're going to freaking hate whatever it is that you're going to come out and say, or whatever it is, like coming out of the closet, then do not come out of the closet. Be smart about it. Come out to yourself. That's more than enough for the time being, okay? As long as you know who you are and you accept yourself and you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, start to love yourself. Start to learn how to love yourself. You know what I mean? Start to learn to love yourself. Keep it at bay. Let it go and just be. You know what I mean? You don't have to come out to the whole entire world just yet. Don't rush it. Take your time. Focus on what's important. Focus on school, which is what so many parents want you to do. Just focus on your studying, focus on your schooling, focus on your sport that you're playing, whatever it is, focus on that. On the hobby, if you have a hobby that you do, focus on that. Put all of your positive focus on that and let go of the negative. If you have negative thoughts or whatever it could be, or you have negative energy around you, grab that and turn it into a positive thing and do something positive for yourself. Always think about it long term. Don't think about it short term. You think about it short term, you give yourself a higher possibility of losing. And you don't want that. So if you know that your parents are going to constantly be nagging at you when they come through that door, try and keep the relationship and the tension calm. You know what I mean? If you know that your parents come home saying, why didn't you wash the dishes? Why didn't you take out the trash? Why do I always have to tell you? Well, then beat them to it. Wash the dishes before they get home. Take the trash out before they get home. Clean your room. Have your room clean before they could say anything to you. And there you go. You're keeping it, you're playing it smart. You're playing the game. You're doing things that you know are going to keep them on your good side. So lleva la fiesta en paz, is like my mom would say, the Spanish phrase would say, like, just, or I should say my mom says, because she still says it, but just be cordial, be calm, be tranquil, have that, that good, calm bond, keep things at bay, don't create the arguments, if you know that they're going to constantly be harping on you for something. Get rid of that something before they can even do that, so that they will come home and be like, oh my gosh, wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much for washing the dishes. Maybe they won't say thank you. I don't know. But at least you will have eliminated the possibility of an argument to spark up, and the tension and the anger and that part of the toxicity. And if you feel like your environment is really, really toxic, then seek help. Go find help. And, there's nothing wrong with that. You are at all your right to find a solution to that problem in the healthiest way, and that's why these places exist where you can go get help. If you know a family member that you can trust, also, be very smart when it comes to figuring out who you can trust, go to them and talk to them. Don't go to somebody who is going to open their mouth to your parents. You don't want that. Or to somebody else who could tell your parents, choose wisely as well, But yeah, I forgot how I got on that. I forgot how I got on that subject. But just be smart about the decisions that you're making. And especially right now, if you're living under your parents' roof. And know that you do have the option that once you turn the legal age, you can move out. But in order to do that, that you have to save money and you have to have a secure income coming in, So get to that point. Do what you got to do. Don't be afraid. Be afraid when you're not doing anything for yourself to get to there, to get to your goal. The goal of coming out, but being able to move out first, obviously. Play it smart. Don't let yourself be influenced by other people saying, well, you have to move, you have to get out. I mean, you have to come out, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. Do you, you know what I mean? You know where you want to go. You know where you want to head. Well, then part of that equation is keeping yourself safe and doing things that you may need to do right now in order to get there. For example, just stay in the closet a little bit longer. And don't see it as something bad. Don't see it as something that's hurting you. See it as something that's helping you. It's all in your perspective. Mindset really is everything. I know I say that a lot, but it is true. How you see things, how you deal with things is everything. It is vital to how you live your every single day, your everyday life. You wake up in the morning feeling like shit, feeling sad for yourself, hating yourself, not looking forward to the day. That's how you're going to be all day long. That's how you're going to continue to see the day. That's how you're going to continue to see everything that happens in front of you. But if you snap yourself out of it and you say, hey, today's going to be a great day, you're going to have a great day, because you already have that in your mind, that no matter what you do or comes your way, you're going to push forward and you're going to have a good day. So go out there and have a good day. I know that sometimes we have sucky situations. Our parents aren't the most sweetest, or they're not the most helpful, or they don't show us support. We're all given different decks of cards, we're all given a different hand. And at the end of the day, you can see it as a gift or you can see it as a burden. So see it as a gift. You might be like, well, how? How can I see it as a gift? Well, find a way to do it. Find a way to see it through a different set of eyes. You don't have to keep seeing everything that's negative as something negative. Find the silver lining. So last but not least, I don't remember half of the things that I said in this, and if they differ from what I said in the video, but if you are a parent that is going through these motions of feeling the anger and you don't want your kid to be gay or what have you, it's not too late to change that. It's not too late to support them and to show your support. Work together. Research what it's all about. Research homosexuality. Go online. Take classes that help you understand or better understand what your child is going through. Take a second to ask them what they're going through. Build that trust. Don't keep them from being themselves, because you're only damaging them. If you were damaged that same way, why would you want to pass that on to your own blood? Why would you want to see others suffering the way that you did? It's sad. It really is. You're at all your right to change how you feel. You're at all your right to break those barriers and to live your life how you want to now. But allow your child, your children, your family members to be themselves, and show them that you're behind them 100% to support that. I don't know, maybe it's that you're scared of what the other parents will say, or that your kid is gonna get hate, or is gonna realize that, I don't know, whatever you think that they're gonna realize is gonna be. But if you teach your child to love themselves and to shake off whatever anybody may say to them, it's a lot more powerful than you instilling in them that who they are is not right. Because when the next person says that it's not right for them to be that way, they're going to believe it. And they're going to continue to live that way, thinking that that's wrong. They're going to continue to hate themselves. And they're going to continue to just live a sad, depressive life, thinking that you were right this entire time. But in reality, it's because they've been fed this negative idea of who they are is just wrong. You know what I mean? Teach them that who they are is who they are, and that's right. Not that others teaching them or wanting them to be who they want them to be, or telling them how they should be is right. That's the wrong answer. That's wrong. Allow them to be themselves. Allow them to be themselves. And you be you. Back them up. Who cares what other parents are going to say? Who cares what other family members are going to say? At the end of the day, you're doing your kid good. You're helping. You're keeping them from being so hurt and damaged. At least in that part of their life, you know? I don't know. Just be that example. And don't tear them apart anymore. I don't know if I've mentioned everything that I wanted to mention, but I do have a video on this. I don't know when it's going to be out yet, or if it has been out. Probably be out by the time you're listening to this. But, yeah. I said a lot, and I just want to thank you for tuning in again, because I said tuning in at the beginning of this. Thank you for listening to me. I know once I end this podcast, I'm going to say, oh shoot, I should have said that, or I forgot to say this. But it happens. I talk a lot and then I forget what I say. But yes, thank you so much again. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day, or a wonderful night, or a wonderful week, or a wonderful month, a wonderful year. And or if it's a nighttime. Did I say nighttime? Yeah, if it's night, or if it's in the middle of the day, or you're having lunch and you're listening to this. I hope that you're enjoying your lunch or dinner or breakfast, and or a walk, whatever it may be. And know that who you are is amazing and nothing less. So be who you are, despite what others might say, despite what those who are important in your life might say. You do you. And that's that. Be happy. Love yourself. Be genuinely happy. It's a beautiful thing. So, stay strong, stay happy, stay humble, stay positive, you know? And remember, mindset is everything. With that being said, here's my little outro. And it goes a little something like this. No matter the highs or lows. Oh, wait. That's not how it goes. I always forget. Isn't that weird? I say it all the time in videos, but then I forget. Well, I guess it's not weird. It's just silly. Anyway, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually 3. No matter the highs, the lows, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble. See ya. Bye.